Lord, oh Lord, let me tell you an actual real-life story spanning a month of technical difficulties, Jeff Bezos, and oh god, so much despair. So, I know that in the past I've used the term actual real life to describe something that clearly isn't true, but I cannot stress enough that this was all 100% true. I mean, maybe Jeff Bezos wasn't personally complicit, but I think he was. Statistically, he's probably involved. Anyway, for whatever reason, I woke up one morning and simply was not able to switch on my computer. Fans would spin up, it'd do the startup beeps, but for some reason, nothing would appear on my screen. After a bit of testing, it turns out my graphics card just randomly died. Built-in graphics worked, but my GPU did not, so I struggled with integrated graphics for a day or two, purchased a new GPU, and everything was good for a little while. Hell, I even got an upgrade to my PC since a really lovely friend of mine decided to gift me a solid-state drive since I have never had one. Of course, this was somewhat before my USB ports randomly started glitching out, and sometimes my computer just didn't register any USB devices at all until I completely restarted. But okay, that's not a big deal. I can still, until I can work out why it's doing that, I can just restart my computer whenever that happens and go about life as usual. Then my computer started just totally freezing, like the CPU would just completely lock up. It'd loop about the last half second of audio or so, since I assume it was failing to clear the audio buffer. I don't know if that's like coherent English. Those are some words that sound right. It was unusable. Kind of a bigger deal, since even if I restart, this still runs the risk of corrupting my precious data, so I set up automatic backups and continued life as normal, deciding to deal with any corrupt data as it comes. Of course, this was until my computer randomly decided to not switch on one morning. This is just kind of like the biggest deal, so after some component testing, I figured it was probably the motherboard which just randomly failed for no discernible reason. And that really sucks, because in case you didn't know, motherboards are expensive as hell, and I'm not exactly wealthy. So, I bit the bullet and purchased a replacement motherboard and CPU and got a nice upgrade in the process. I installed it, everything worked pretty smoothly. I didn't even have to mess with my existing Arch Linux installation to get things to work, which was like so cool. Also, for what it's worth, around this time I also noticed that my microphone cord had rusted and was freezing my computer whenever I plugged it in, so I had to get a new cable for that too. Now this isn't a big deal, but that was like £3 as opposed to the hundreds I had to spend on the motherboard and CPU. However, a couple of days after replacing the motherboard, things are going good. Then my computer freezes again. I mean, my USB ports work now, and at least it switches on, but it kept freezing! And I checked all of the forums I could find. I checked journalctl, which is meant to give like a system log. There was no error log. There was just like, it said reboot, just randomly. Nothing before it, nothing after it, just like application log stuff. So I look around for more software explanations. Maybe I should rebuild the kernel. I tried that, didn't really seem to do anything. I installed processor microcode, that didn't do anything either. Reinstalled my graphics drivers, that definitely didn't do anything at all. I scoured the internet for every possible explanation, and the only one that seemed to make sense was that my power supply was failing. I mean, that's basically the only component that I hadn't replaced really recently. Now, I don't actually have any money left, so I actually had to go into debt to order a new one, but whatever, at least my computer was fixed. For about 2 days, then it crashed again, which is really upsetting. Possibly even more so than the previous times when it's crashed, because now, I don't have any money to purchase any new components. So at this point, I just decided to take a week off work because this was getting to me and I needed to de-stress before I either explode or short-circuit my brain, or possibly both. So it crashes a few more times, maybe 2 or 3 times a day, and that sucks, but I can live with it for the time being as I continue to look for answers. That is, until I decide to run a system update. Now look, it's a new kernel. That's fun. I'll just set that to update while I go to check the changelog. Then my computer crashes again, right in the middle of the update. I restart, and this time, everything is fucked. The modules list just disappeared, so even the keyboard isn't recognized. Bash isn't loading correctly, so things like Pacman, my package manager, and ls aren't recognized. That's right, somehow my computer was so broken even ls wasn't recognized. Also, half of my data just disappeared. I don't know why that happened. And data disappearing sounds like a disk error, which, I thought, okay, that's probably not possible because I just got this solid-state drive. So I checked the smart data, only to find it lists over 30,000 hours of power on lifetime. So this means that despite only having acquired this drive a month ago, Amazon had sent me one that had already been used excessively and was now beginning to fail. Jeff Bezos personally scammed me, and I will not forgive him. I will not forgive, and more importantly, I will not forget the pain that this man has caused me. When Jeff Bezos personally used my solid-state drive for over 3.5 years, put it into a box, and sent it to my house. And I bet he's waiting on my update video too about this complete catastrophe. So if you're watching this, Jeff, I would like to challenge you to a duel. I refuse to stand idly by while a multi-billionaire CEO like yourself feels as though he can do anything he likes to me, and I don't have the following, or the financial standing, or quite frankly the willpower to fight back. However, we've both got swords. I mean, I don't yet, but I expect as the CEO of Amazon you could probably provide that. Can you do me a favor? I mean, you did ruin my computer and my entire life. Could you at least send me a sword? Failure to accept these terms is an implicit admission of your cowardice, and I will take it to mean that you forfeit your position at Amazon to me. All hail the new CEO of Amazon, Alex Caswell. That's right, Horatio isn't even my real last name. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos wherein I declare war on the ruling class by yelling into a microphone on youtube.com for like 7 minutes. Goodbye.